I'm talking to Samantha Chasworth, counsel at NPC Law. Hi, Samantha. So good to have you on.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Samantha. And, domestic violence is a huge issue. And as far as the immigration perspective is concerned, what are the options for victims of domestic violence?
Yeah, that's a really good question because unfortunately we do get a lot of calls from immigrants who are victims of domestic violence, and a lot of them are afraid and don't know what to do. So many of the people that we come across are afraid to leave their partners. They think that if they do, they'll report them to ICE. Some of the individuals we meet are afraid to report these crimes because their green card holder or a U.S. citizen spouse is almost dangling that green card in front of them, and they know that if they leave, they have no other, well, they believe if they leave, they have no other options. So a lot of these individuals end up staying in these very dangerous situations for much too long. And we just want our listeners to know that if you or anyone you know is in this situation, there are options, and that option does not need to be staying in this situation.
Yes.
So, first of all, it is important to know that safety should be a number one priority. If anyone is in danger, they should go to the police. Bottom line, safety should come first. And secondly, they should know that if they go to the police, there are certain protections in place for them. Of course, every case is different, but as a general rule, victims of crimes should feel comfortable reporting their crimes to the police. So what are the options that could be available for these victims of domestic violence? Well, the first and most common one that we see is Violence Against Women's Act, or VAWA, and it does apply to men as well, as long as the individual is a victim of domestic violence and their abuser is either a green card holder or U.S. citizen spouse or former spouse, U.S. citizen or green card holder parent, U.S. citizen child, and that they were subjected to battery or extreme cruelty. And we work with a lot of clients who have faced abuse in all different forms. It can be physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse. I've seen financial abuse. So there's a lot of flexibility in that regard as well. And this does also provide a pathway to a green card. So it's important to know that it's not only this protection, but these individuals will be entitled to a green card at some point in the future, and sometimes immediately.
No, so my question was, how do you determine that this person is a victim of domestic violence?
So sometimes we have a police report, sometimes we have medical records, and other times it's the victim's statement that we use, and statements of friends and family that may have experienced the abuse firsthand. Collecting evidence in these cases is a little bit difficult when there is not a police report or a medical report, but it's not impossible, and it's definitely an option for a lot of individuals.
Yeah.
If VAWA is not an option, there's also a U visa, which I know we've discussed before. Domestic violence is a qualifying crime under the U visa category, and the benefit of a U visa is that for a VAWA, remember, the abuser must be a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. But for a U visa, as long as the crime occurred in the United States, the individual is eligible to apply for a U visa. So it can be somebody in the U.S. without any status at all. So it's very important to know that there are these options, and know that there are pathways to obtaining a green card and, of course, protection, bottom line, if anyone is in this situation.
Yes, and that's great to know. And of course, shout out to anybody who's out there who's subjected to domestic violence and abuse. You don't need to suffer anymore. There are pathways, like Samantha said, in the immigration process that you can get out. And also, if you're looking to secure a green card, citizenship, Canadian immigration, H-1B visas, or marriage cases, then just go to NPZ Law Group by logging on to visaserve.com or call them at 201-670